Aloha yo! Yep, me again. Last I heard of Squiggy, he was busking for a New York plane ticket. Anyways, welcome to the Party Chat Podcast, episode 095. I am your host for this week, Slazo, and as always, I am not alone. Joining me is our very own idol, Laura. How you doing, girl?
I'm an idol? Hi.
You're an idol.
Thanks, cool.
Spotlight is on you.
I'm happy to be here now that I'm so appreciated.
Good.
It's delightful.
Yeah. So, how have you been?
Been good. Thank you for asking. How have you been? I've been looking forward to this podcast because there's a lot of news and I'm angry about stuff. So.
Wow. Oof, well, I won't dally then. But if you've not listened to us before, then some good news. If you see our YouTube channel there's like 30 to 40 episodes you can watch now. So just get started on those. I'll wait. Done. Cool. Right, so as you now know, we're a weekly gaming podcast.
Ow.
So let's talk games. What have you been playing this week, Laura?
Gears of War.
Gears of War 4, man, me too.
I love Gears of War 4, and I won't let you slag it off because it's the only reason I game at the moment. Honestly, if I'm playing another, right, if I'm playing something else, it's generally through peer pressure. Like, I wouldn't leave Gears if possible. If anything, I wouldn't leave the house if I could, just to play Gears. I am so, like, obsessed with that game.
I mean, I could say, like, it's certainly it's a fun shooter. I've always admired the Gears franchise for actually doing things a little differently to a lot of games. Gears 4 I haven't necessarily taken to as quickly as past Gears games. Like, I've been like, I mean, so I've played some Horde with you, and I've played some campaign with you, and fighting robots doesn't really have the same appeal as fighting the Horde.
I have to put it out there for the audience. You are literally on the mission where it all starts to kick off after. Like,
okay.
The story, you can agree with this, they've put a lot of plot points out there, a little build-up. You found, for some reason, Jin hilarious. They have.
Who was Jin?
The robot, the woman who's using the robot.
Oh, I thought it was hilarious that a compact mirror on legs was, like, threatening me. That was just hilarious.
Yeah, but they've set it all up now. Basically, you're on a big, important mission that's going to, like, change the shape and then set the narrative, and we're going to be back to some classic Gears style.
We will be. Okay, cool.
Yeah, you're literally on the mission that changes it all. That's the only reason. Like, I mean, they learned their lesson on storytelling. To be honest, they've tried to set up the missions you've played and the flashbacks. They've tried to set up more of a universe and a story, you know, so you know what's going on in the current world, like, so they build on it.
But they're not relevant. Like, are the Pendulum Wars ever going to be relevant at any point? The fact you're having to think about it says no. So you could cut that.
I wouldn't say no.
Like, I didn't need 2 tutorial flashbacks. That was the thing.
Yeah,
you did one. Here's the Pendulum Wars, and then it went, let's do it again with the Locust. I'm like, no, I'm good. Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like that was more probably a nod to his, like, a hint. So go use backwards compatibility and actually care about this stuff. But then it wasn't enough to make me go care if I hadn't played them.
Also, like, I died at one point, and the game was like, well, that's game over. And it's like, but Laura's alive. Game over. But
I was partying hard.
She's right there.
I think it's because you got completely ripped apart. Was the story.
It's fine, but you know, that doesn't stop the war. Like, I hate that kind of thing.
No, the war ends. I stand there and wait. We were like, no, call off the war, guys. You've won. We've lost Slazo. That's actually what happened.
Nice. And I mean, like the other thing I've been playing, so some Horde and multiplayer. Multiplayer, I mean, it's the usual shotguns bonanza, which is kind of depressing, but sure. I'm getting alright at it now. I do like the way they do team deathmatch with you have 15 lives and then that's it, you have respawns. I think that's a cool, different way of doing it. And it keeps games quite quick as well.
It's the same way, to be fair, I also like Dodgeball, which I think you can expose to once. Oh no, you haven't then. No. It's basically where you you work your way down, and if you kill someone on your team comes back alive, and the idea is to wipe out the other team. But if you get killed and they get down to 1, then they kill someone, they might get their buddy back in time to then help them, and then you're building back up the numbers. It's just really... That sounds
fun. And I like
it's
arms
fantastic
race is pretty cool.
Arms race is a fantastic idea. It really helps the fact that it helps you teach you a lot about the guns. I think that's the problem with you, because obviously a lot of the guns especially all the new guns, you experience in the story to get showcased. Like there's bits where they, try and... I think you'll probably do better on arms race once you've got to them bits of the story, just because they explain the guns better, and then you're like, oh, this is what it's meant to be used for, this sort of range.
I'm with you there, but like team deathmatch, like it's rare that people swap away from Lancer and shotgun. So
that's true, but in arms race you have to use it, so you learn then. So.
But yeah, cool. And then horde mode it's horde mode. Like I like some of the new enemies, but like it's like it doesn't have the same charm as the old Locust do. That's my argument. Like the robots and things. Although I did like some of the bosses, they were kind of cool. Although a bit bullet spongy. But yeah, Gears of War 4. Anything else you've been playing, or just Gears?
I said I wouldn't leave the house if I could just play Gears. I don't think I've touched anything else this week because Gears is life.
Cool. I've continued to play a bit more of Destiny. My Titan, yes, has now reached level 40, so I then went, cool, on to my Warlock, because gotta get those Feats of Triumph. I think I'm level 3 Feats of Triumph now, there's 7 levels total, and I won't hit 7, because I'm pretty sure you have to complete the entire book of challenges to hit 7, which includes things like beating the raids on the hardest difficulties.
You can do it!
Sure, I'll just go get those 5 other people who play Destiny, I know. Cool.
Oh, but, cool. I hope if I'm one of them 5, you're really screwed because I have no PS Plus.
Yep.
Oh,
so,
well, that's awkward.
But yeah, I'm going on. So my Warlock's getting near 40 as well, at which point I don't really know. I guess then it's after that it's trying to max out the 3 classes that each of them have so I can get all of those. But it's kind of nice, like a last hurrah for Destiny. It gives me a reason to play it and get back into it. And then the voice in the back of my head going Destiny 2, and I'm like, I don't know. No. I want this to be the end, in some ways. Unless Destiny 2 really does have serious improvements, I could see this being Age of Triumph done with Destiny. Put it away now. But yeah, so that's what we've been playing this week. So now let's talk about some news. And speaking of PS Plus, we now know what the PS Plus August lineup is going to be. Six games along with It's Go or It's Live or whatever the frick it's called, which is still on PS Plus. But besides that, we'll start off with the low tier platforms. So if you've got a Vita, you can get cool game Downwell and Level 22, which I've never heard of. Downwell, I might be completely getting the game wrong, but I'm pretty sure Downwell is one where you're constantly falling down a well, and you have to use your bullets to both make platforms and kill enemies and stop yourself from dying from full damage. And it's really cool. If it's the one I'm thinking of, then freaking Mark Brown, who does Game Maker's Toolkit, really champions that game, and it looks kind of cool. So yeah, that'd be cool. Although I hope, because it's on the Vita, I would hope that you'd hold the Vita vertically to play it, considering you're constantly going down, and if you're holding it normal way, you're not going to have much of a window to react. But yeah,
I mean, that sounds interesting. I think it sounds like something I'm going to be shit at, but interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
Then on PS3, you can get Super Motherload and Snakeball. I've heard of Super Motherload, I've never played it. I know
what it is, yeah.
Oh, you do? Brilliant. What is it?
I do know what I basically know it's that game that everyone told me to play for a short while. I'm just trying to look up to remember what game it is, because it's one of those games when everyone
I know what it is, but I don't.
No, I do. Just give me a moment. A lot of people recommend games to me. It's the one that's co-op on the couch, right? Couch co-op. Why did I just say that back to front?
It's a co-op game, okay.
Yeah, but it's all about co-op, because I remember... who told me to buy this? Someone told me to buy it. It's mining and stuff, and you got to collect shit.
You sure you're not thinking of Spelunky?
I'm going to be honest, I felt like it was Spelunky, but I feel like this is co-op Spelunky.
Spelunky is co-op.
Is it? Oh, I've been playing Spelunky wrong.
You can,
wow.
You can do it with 1 to 4 players.
Oh, I did not know that. I just have it on my PC. But yeah, I feel like this is recommended to me because it was one of the only co-op couch games that came out that year. Is why I know it. But
Was this during our 4-player co-op? Yeah. Of making 4-player co-op
you mean
jokes.
you mean at E3 when they were like, it has 4-player co-op?
I don't know where the joke originated. I just know it was a thing we did.
Yeah, 2013. So yeah, 2014, 2013. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, but basically, I believe it's a game where it's best if you have loads of buddies, as well, 3 other friends.
Good to know.
I know it's second because apparently it's really fun, but I'm gonna probably base it on that if you have no friends, won't be that fun.
Yep. And Snakeball, sadly, when I first saw this, I was like, oh shit, man, yeah, the Snake platform. It's not Snake Pass. It's not Snake Pass.
No, that is.
Snake Pass, it's like, it was a platform that came out earlier this year where you play as a snake, and I just am really curious with it. Just like, I want to play it just to see how it controls, like how you control a snake going around platforming levels. Cause
I'm just thinking of the mobile game Snake now. That's all I've got. But
yeah, I think that's more what Snakeball is than the one I'm thinking of. But,
I'm excited.
oh dear.
Where's
But
my Nokia 10?
I'll tell you what might make you excited is the PS4 games. So
Right.
Sony stepping out their A game this time. You get Assassin's Creed Freedom and Just Cause 3 on PS4. This is quite a nice month.
Good games.
Yeah.
I like that. If I had PS Plus, I'd be downloading Just Cause 3.
Have you played
Just
Just Cause
Cause.
game?
I have played a very lengthy demo of Just Cause 2.
Right.
You know, like one of those demo discs, old school.
Oh man, but back in the day.
Lengthy, one of them. And I think I may have played a bit of Just Cause 3 with someone.
Nice.
I didn't own it. But it's one of those game series, right? Because obviously, you know, I like Saints Row, and this is kind of out there, free roam, destroy stuff.
No,
Right, I know. Secrets are being spilled, guys. But it's kind of always been a series that I thought looked fun, but never like 40 quid on launch day fun.
Yeah,
like it's something
fair.
I'd go dabble with, and then it's basically because there's so many games, and I'm not like super rich. I end up never getting it or playing it fully.
Cool.
But the fact it's free on PS Plus, if I had PS Plus, I'd be all over it.
Would you re-up to PS Plus to get it?
Maybe, but this is I mean, we're gonna have a conversation about PS Plus in a minute, but it is like this for me is like the perfect PS Plus game. Not to like be mad at the franchise or anything, but it's kind of like it dabbles between being a big deal when it comes out and not a big deal.
Yeah,
I don't know what it sounds.
It's like it's a
like
AAA franchise, but like never a big major league one.
If you were listing like 20 franchises of games, it may scrape into maybe 5 out of 10
If you ask me
people's.
to name like GTA likes, well not GTA likes, but you know what I mean, that kind of gameplay, Just Cause
GTA
would probably
inspired
be.
sandbox wannabes.
Sandbox shooters, then yeah, Just Cause would be one that came up.
Yeah, but you have to really niche it to its category.
I wouldn't go niche it, like it would be like the first 5 I came up with.
I mean,
there's a niche sandbox shooter that sandbox-ish that we'll get to in a bit, but
GTA Saints Row.
it's not Saints Row, dear. I'm not going to make a
No. I meant I'm on 4. I think it'd be the 4th one I name.
Okay, but yeah, so that, and I don't know which Assassin's Creed Freedom is. Like, I assume it's one of the ones that came out in like the last 2 years of when they did bite-sized Assassin's Creed games. I assume. I could be completely wrong. But if it's on PS4 and I don't know the name, I'm assuming it has to be like one of those like China and all the rest of them. Cool.
I guess so.
So yeah, but man, you might think that's a step up in quality for games on PS Plus. What's the catch? Well, the catch go away, Amaldo. The catch ignore that.
Yes, Almaldo, go away.
The catch is that prices are going up across Europe. So America had a PS Plus price increase a little while back, and now Europe is getting the same. It's going up in Euro prices, but I'm a Brit, so I don't care about that. So the prices for us, if you pay yearly, it's going from £40 to £50. If you're playing quarterly, like I have been up until this point, it's going from £15 to £20, which means like 80 quid a year. Jesus.
I love how much you care that you're like 20 because that affects you the most.
Fucking nonsense. And if you pay monthly, it's going from 6 to 7 quid. Yeah, this is now so it's not a big increase, don't get me wrong, and I can see, like, there's an argument that PS Plus hasn't increased its price pretty much since it was introduced, so this makes sense. At the same time, it's going from, like, a price point where I was happy to just let it auto-renew, to now I'm staring at it going,
That's an investment.
do I really need, like, I have a lot of games of PS Plus, but I'm at the point now in the console's lifespan where I have a lot of games on disc. Like, I could happily just play a bunch of JRPGs and not give a
Be
fuck.
happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like, the main reason I love my... No, love strong. The main reason that my PS4 is even a thing at the moment, and I really need to get back to it, is because of Horizon, which is, you know, solo player and everything. I don't need PS Plus for it. There's nothing... This is the thing. This is maybe why I like my Xbox a bit more at the moment, because I enjoy playing multiplayer games. That's what, when I have limited time, I just like going on and that's the social thing. And I like Gears and Forza and they're more multiplayer games, whereas on PlayStation, I don't know how I've ended up like this, but there isn't, other than Rocket League, which I got for free, which is multi-format, I don't have that multiplayer game that makes me want to have PS Plus. Like, I know there's other reasons to have PS Plus, as we just said about the awesome month.
Yeah.
But if I had to cut one multiplayer subscription out, it was easy to decide PlayStation, because I look at my shelf and I'm like, what games do I actually play with people?
I mean,
now that I'm over Destiny, like, ages ago.
In terms of, like, exclusives, yeah, there's more multiplayer exclusives on Xbox. I mean, it's the case for me that I'm more, like, invested in Sony's platform in general for me, so...
Yeah.
I'll probably bite the bullet and go for the 50 quid, but...
If I had the money, don't get me wrong, I'd, like, you know, suit up on all of them, and I feel like it has a date that is coming in, isn't it? So there's still time to shop
End
around,
of August,
get a cheap deal.
I mean, I've actually got the news story, so I can check this like a
well,
professional host.
talk.
31st of August is when.
Yeah, so you have a whole month to maybe shop around, get some deals. There's always deals on PS Plus, and at the end of the day, they say the full price was originally 40, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was just. Yeah, I never paid 40 quid for a year. I think the most I ever paid was 27.
Wait, what?
Like, as in, I would get deals on websites and codes and years of subscription like that.
Hook me up.
I'll try and hook you up, but I probably now, instead of being 27, it'll probably be the best I can get is 37. You know, it will be a £10 increase for everyone, but at the end of the day, retail price I find weird, because technically the games retail at a certain amount, but there's no one that pays that. So why everyone's freaking out like, oh, we're getting what we're getting for the money and all that stuff, I'm kind of still thinking, I bet you I could still get a decent deal on it. If it came to...
Yeah, but, like, I mean, so this month we've had an increase in game quality, which is good, but there's no doubt that, like, so I'll give them, like, 2017, they've usually had at least one cool game, like, between Life is Strange and Tales from Borderlands and your one you love, Until Dawn. We've usually had a cool game, but, like, I compare this back to when I first signed onto the service and was getting, like, tons of amazing PS3 games, and there's been no, like, if you look at 2016's lineup, for example, it was, like, and no disrespect, because there's lots of great indie titles out there, but there was never really anything that kind of said, heck yeah, I'm glad I bought a PS Plus sub.
Yeah, I guess it's when you look at it like that. Well, see, I now look at it, like I said, I look at it based on I need to have it for multiplayer games.
Yeah.
So if I was regularly playing Destiny, I'd be like, oh, there's value because I have to have it. It's not like I can take my... You know what I mean? Like, I have to have it like multiplayer, but I don't look at it in terms of quality. But when you lay out how lackluster the lineup has been, I guess I kind of took it for granted, and now I can kind of see your point on it.
But yeah, so it's a time of decision. August will be for PS Plus owners. But on the other side of the fence, Xbox Live have announced their Games with Gold lineup. So I need to just bring up the actual dates, because Microsoft don't just do a month, they do weird dates.
Yeah, so I definitely do hate that.
Thanks,
if we're gonna go with the whole Xbox...
Oh no, okay, so if we're gonna hate this, because I love a good chance to bitch about the Xbox One's shit UI. Why aren't they just easy to find on the system? Why isn't there a tab that says, here's the games... Like, I went to the store and I spent half an hour trying to find them.
No, there's an easy one. You can just if you press dashboard, press membership, it takes you straight to the gold games.
Great, I'm glad that's clearly spelled out.
Yeah, sorry, that was something they added. I mean, to be honest, I will tell you, I had the same problem when I first got an Xbox, hating it for the UI and that, because I hated the fact it's so hard to find redeemer code. Like, my
redeemer
God,
code's easy.
Why is that hidden? Oh, it was not easy.
Prices are hard. You can't see a price. Heaven forbid.
It was not easy when they first did it. Like, updates since have made it easier, and then they've made other things more complex. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, you win some, you lose some.
I know what you mean. Like, if you were to tell me, like, worst console UI I've ever used, Xbox One, first place by a mile.
I could probably go with that. I mean, I really hated the Wii's box system, but it's easy to use. I just hated it. That's like a preference thing rather than.
Channels were cool. How dare you?
I hated channels because I hated the fact that when you get channel page 1 filled, I just hated page. It's a thing. It's a thing, man.
You could
I just did it. You change the page. I just don't. Don't talk to me about channels.
Okay.
Anyway,
we're getting started. Games with gold.
Yeah.
So
games with.
This month's lineup on Xbox One from August 1st to August 31st. You can get Slime Rancher, which is a weird, quirky indie game I've seen in action where you essentially go out, capture slimes, trap them in pens, use them to make money so you can increase your farm of slimes. Yep.
Yay!
Yeah, it's alright. I mean, yeah.
It's not for me.
This one might be though. August 16th, September 15th, you can get Trials Fusion.
I love Trials. I'm so shit at it.
Don't ask me which Trials this is. There's so many of them by this point.
Trials Fusion is the one that was popular on 360, wasn't it?
No.
It's a good one.
This is the one they did as part of 2 games.
Oh, and on the Trials Fusion, the one that got the spin-off with the unicorns.
Maybe.
Oh,
that's the point. There's so many Trials games, they all have the same name. So I don't freaking know which one's which. But hey,
but I like Trials.
But those are your Xbox One offerings to indie games. Meanwhile, on the Xbox 360, this is where you get your AAA. So, speaking of low-tier sandbox shooters, Red Faction Armageddon is on the service from August 16 to August 31. Both of these I will say play on Xbox One. But, yeah, that Red Faction, like, I mean...
That's the one thing I would say, definitely, with the whole lineup goes. When they have backwards games, like on 360, most of them you can play on Xbox One as well. So it is like you're getting them if you're an Xbox One owner.
Yeah, no,
whereas, obviously, PS3 to PS4 isn't.
I mean, most of the games they put on PS Plus these days work on PS4. Because they're cross-platform indies.
Yeah, but if they're not, is my point. I mean, I'm talking if they released...
Yeah,
Just Cause
what if these weren't?
2.
Like, what? That's not an argument.
No, it's fine. No, it's right. Carry on.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, so, like, Red Faction, a franchise which I remember is most famous just because you can shoot things and it destroys them.
I didn't
you
know
can
that.
shoot the buildings and they destroy...
But what, are they red barrels?
No, Laura.
Oh.
It's explosive barrels, Jesus Christ.
Are they red?
Let's not talk about that. Okay, so the other one though, the big one, August 1st to August 15th, you get on the 360 Bayonetta, one of last generation's more quirky and highly rated games, which is probably going to mean you've never played it.
I know of it. I mean, that's progress.
Okay,
it's progress from how I used to be. I know about it, I know it's highly rated, it's just not my type of game, in the sense that... Like if you look at it, like
bad taste, yeah. But,
it's not. I'm not denying it's a good game. It's a good game for its genre and what it is, but it's not me. It could be the best of it. It's like the whole Zelda thing. I'm just never.
Yeah, there's no helping some people. Yeah, Hideki Kamiya, Platinum Games, Bayonetta. This is the good version of Bayonetta, if I remember correctly. Not the PS or. One of them is really like well made, and the other one is a terrible port. And I'm pretty sure it's the 360 one's the good one, the PS3 one's the terrible port. But I could be wrong on that, and if I am, I apologise.
Play it and find out, guys!
Well, I mean, you don't have to buy it, it's on Xbox Live Games with Gold. But, yeah, you can give Bayonetta a try. It's one of those games where you have tons of enemies to fight. It's not a Muso game, but, like, just hack and slash your way through enemies, and insane action combos, and all the usual nonsense you get with a Platinum Games game. Yeah, it went over extremely well enough that Nintendo went, we'll buy it out so we can have a sequel. So, don't expect Bayonetta 2 and Games with Gold anytime soon. But, yeah, no, I like, that's by far the biggest game of the month lineup for Xbox Live Games with Gold. But otherwise, it's not a great lineup for the old Xbox this month, if you ask me. I mean,
it's not great. I'm not compared to the PlayStation and delivering it this month. You gotta give it to PlayStation.
Yep. But I tell you what is cool for Xbox owners this month. So, Forza Horizon 3 is getting the Regalia. Come on, Laura.
Yeah.
Excitement. Do you know what the Regalia is?
No, I don't have a clue what you're saying.
Great. Forza Horizon 3 owners and Final Fantasy 15 owners will get a download code to drive the car from Final Fantasy 15 in Forza Horizon 3. This is amazing news. I am playing Forza Horizon 3 at the moment, so heck yeah, am I gonna jump in that car, drive it around like a madman. This is awesome. I think this is like a really cool crossover, like that makes sense.
I mean,
Laura,
yes.
you like Final Fantasy?
No. No, I'm excited for you. I guess this is how I felt when I saw the Warthog was in Forza Horizon 3.
The Warthog's in what?
Yeah, there's a whole time trial mission as well that you can drive to and you do it. It's great.
Oh my god, that's...
I know, I love it. I'm going to be honest, it's my favourite thing. And if you own Halo, they give you a code so you can drive it anywhere, anytime. Oh my god, best thing.
Nice. I didn't know that, so might be playing that later. But continuing with the JRPG news, I can't remember his name. I'm gonna get it wrong. His name is the Yuji Horii. That was it. Fucking Yuji Horii, the creator of Dragon Quest, announced that Dragon Quest XI is coming to the West. Now, admittedly, we kind of already knew this, but this comes on the tail of the game coming out in Japan on PS4 and 3DS this week. Switch release is coming at some point. We don't know what platforms it'll be coming out for yet, but we do know it'll be localized English, French, Spanish, Italian, German, and it will be coming out in 2018, which is quite a fast turnaround for Dragon Quest, because usually, oh boy, it's taken us a while to get some of those. Look at Dragon Quest VII.
But, we have our Dragon Quest jokes.
Yeah, Dragon Quest banter. But I cannot wait to play this. I am a big Dragon Quest slut, so I will happily buy this and love it. I hope the Switch version comes out over here. That'd be cool, because I'd like to give it a try on the Switch, but who knows? Lots of cool stuff there.
Just be happy it's coming out, to be honest, based on its history.
On its history, pretty much.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You gotta pick some battles here, that just generally.
Cool.
That's what you gotta do.
But a game that's coming out a lot sooner is Destiny 2, and what you can do if you pre-order it is you can get an exotic weapon. So if you've not played Destiny before, these are essentially the best tier of weapons. They're so good that you can only have one exotic weapon and one exotic piece of armor at any time. All the rest of your gear has to be legendary or below. This one, I believe, is called Cold Heart, which is going to be in your second slot and does arc damage, and I believe is a sniper, he says, looking at it, or a sniper style weapon. Oh, sorry, trace rifle, whoops, which is a sniper. So, yeah, that's, I mean, I'm not sure, like, if this is not a great pre-order bonus, if you ask me. Like, they can make a big deal of it, but, like, it's like, you want to pre-order to get an exotic, not really, and then also, like, is there any real point at limiting this? This feels so cheap and desperate. Like, this isn't... Would you pre-order a game just so you get a cool in-game gun? Like, really?
No, but I wouldn't pre-order for it. Like, anything like this, I would never pre-order for the incentive. Like, these incentives, digital incentives, I've never think there's been any game that's gone, hey, you can get this, or you can get this emblem, or you get this, and I'm like, yes, I must pre-order. I don't think I've ever had that. It's like a bonus you get.
Yeah.
If I just so happen to pre-order. But yeah, I'm not wowed by it, that's for sure.
that's fair. I'm not a fan of this. I feel this is Destiny 2 game really desperate, but hey, we'll see how well it does pre-orders in the future. Let's change gear. So
gears? Did someone say gears?
No. Sorry. Oh, I feel like you're a hope for nothing now. This actually ties into something that's airing right now as we record this, but esports coming to BBC Three, and if you're somehow listening to this podcast the second we're recording it, which is impressive because it's not gone live yet.
Skype.
Firstly, get out of our Skype. Secondly, Rocket League is on BBC Three right now.
I know.
Yeah, there'll be
League.
4 hours of live esports coverage every weekend for the next 6 weeks, part of a collaboration with BBC Sport. I think this now, it's annoying because on the one hand it's BBC Three, which if I remember correctly is internet only now.
Yes, it's online.
Yeah, which that sucks.
It's still progress. It's
progress. It's still progress.
Pick your battles.
Pretty much. I'm it's really happy. So I believe over the next few weeks you'll be seeing Rocket League as well as Counter Strike and Street Fighter 5.
Been on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Street Fighter's been on.
Sorry about that. I'm really happy to see esports coming to TV. I'd like it more if it was on actual TV.
It's the next step. I mean, it's been on BT Sports before.
Oh, has it? Okay.
I feel they've had the FIFA tournaments because obviously time with the football.
Okay.
I think they might have the next FIFA tournament and stuff come in. Yeah, there's been sprinklings. Obviously, being on BBC Three, I still would say it's a more accessible platform as it's online only because it's not a premium channel package like BT Sport or Sky Sports.
Yeah.
So each step, and eventually I think you probably work your way onto BBC Two, even if it's in the early hours of the morning at 12 till 1.
Do you think that'll be a thing, esports on one of the Freeview?
I think it'd be on BBC Two. I genuinely do, because I think it's I know BBC Two's got Garden as well, and a lot of house shows and a lot of history programs, very upscale dramas, import
Cooking
dramas
shows.
particularly. No, because they bumped Great British Bake Off and that to BBC One. I would say BBC One gets more of the cooking shows now. But not a point.
Oh, sorry.
BBC Two represents culture and history, and it's got them foreign imports of stuff popular. So it wouldn't surprise me if 12 to 1, because it's maybe you can argue it's a cultural thing, esports. It's, they have sports on there. They've had rugby and tennis before. They've had golf on there. You know what I mean?
Yes,
I think
but there's a difference between that and they have sports on both channels. Let's just get that. It's not a BBC Two thing.
It's still a cultural. It's esports has its art market at the end of the day, and I don't think it get a prime time slot. I can never imagine it in a prime time slot on that channel.
Right.
But I can imagine it 12 to 1 or, highlights of the day, quite late. But then in my head, if I was going to argue that one day it'd be in prime time, I honestly probably would say Channel 4, Channel 5 would be the side to pick it up. Because, we look at them, not to go all sporty on your Slazo.
Go for it.
But the Women's Euros, you know, that's getting a lot of coverage because of Channel 4 picked it up. No one expected them to argue for the right to compete, buy it, and then put it on decent slots. They're putting all the England games on the main side at a prime time slot, 7, like they would men's football. Yeah. So if esports has really got that much money in it, and it does seem to do really well, would Channel 4 take it so they have hours of content? They don't have to, it's
quite
just
possible.
film.
Channel 4, Channel 4 are the ones who did the Paralympics, right? They got the rights for the Paralympics.
They do pick up the sports that you don't like, women's football, Euro rights. They picked up the Paralympics. They did, and they did something else really, really niche, and I can't think what it was. But they try things, and if there's a market for it, they're go get it.
Okay, so
at the moment, BBC have it. I just think it won't be prime time. I think BBC Three is amazing for them. BBC Two, I cannot see it being aired. 9 or 8. I can't. It will be 12 to 1. It'd be in once a BBC Two, actually BBC, this is fun fact, used to own the rights to How I Met Your Mother. And we were talking season 1, early days when it was 2005 when it launched, so they had it in 2006.
They had The Simpsons got it.
Probably, yeah, but they aired How I Met Your Mother for some reason, 12 to 1, 1 to 1:30. And then
so it would take the place of their repeats, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. And then Trouble ended up buying it, and then when they went under E4, they're more prone to American stuff. But I would just imagine that's their BBC content would treat esports the same, like it's the outsider trying to get in. It's never gonna be like your Country Fire is now followed by the Street Fighter tournament. You know what I mean? I know Country Fire's on BBC Two, but BBC One, but you know what I mean.
Later on, it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, you just can't imagine, garden as well, going, however the weather, enjoy your garden. Up now, Call of Duty, stay indoors. Do you know what I mean? I can't have a time slot.
This is going on a tangent, but whatever. We're talking about this now. Would you watch game programs on TV? Because in the past, I've watched stuff there's a channel on Sky, it used to be called XD TV, I used to watch some of that. And I used to watch a channel on CITV called Land Jam, but in this day and age now, where I don't have a TV, I just watch everything through Netflix. Would you? You've got a TV.
I like TV.
Would you watch video games on TV?
I think so. To be fair, I find watching things on TV more comfortable than watching things on my PC. And I watched Evo on my PC, and that was hours. There was hours of content. If I could have watched that on my TV, eating a bowl of cereal, it would have been nice. Yeah, much nicer. I would have been very comfy. And also the fact that I can get it in HD on my TV, nice. Not to brag about my TV, it's nothing special, it's quite old, but you know what I mean. It's still better than a PC monitor.
Saying about this, I should have just made this topic of the week or whatever. But figure
I feel like it is.
It's rapidly getting there. I mean, like, because there's not just like esports as well now. Like thinking about it, there's stuff like get awesome games done quick happened a few weeks ago, and that gets hundreds of thousands of viewers on Twitch.
I'm still on the logic that if it was on the Twitch app through my TV isn't great. So I know, but if I had my Xbox One downstairs and I could just or PS4, you get it on Twitch, then sure it'd be fine. But based on my TV downstairs, if that was actually on a proper channel, I probably would watch it more. Even I was gonna say,
I could see like a speed, like as well as esports, I could see a speed running program.
I'm gonna be honest, not to slag off certain programs, but the video game shows they've done before haven't been. I'm not thinking the one that Dara O'Brien did. I'm thinking way back when they did that. I can't. It might even not be that, but it was some show they went through the. But... Yeah, that's his, not his. The one before, there were some shows, and it was like they play games and they say what's coming out, and they show clips of that. That's not even a very good show, and I used to watch bits of that when nothing else was on because I'm like, ooh, video games. Yeah, so on the principle of that, I would happily watch someone play Mario if it's fun and entertaining.
Yeah,
and run it.
I need to watch more Go 8, but I feel that does well because it's not trying to be a magazine show. It's a comedy panel show, but instead of being about the news or sport, it's about games, and they play games. And I feel that works better because that way it's not really competing with internet stuff. Because it's like, I want to know about what games are coming out. I'll just read a website like Kotaku or Eurogamer. Job done. Don't need to see a TV show for that. But yeah, let's move on from that before we talk about that.
I'm happy to talk about this all day. So I've just realised I've got a whole interest in video games on TV. Who knew?
It's like you got a degree in a related field. But yeah, let's go from TV to actual video games in the real world. So Pokemon Go Fest happened, I think, last Friday as we're recording this. Yes, did you see the outpouring from this event, Laura?
I saw a little bit, but not enough to know how. Like, I saw people talking about it, which is a thing, but I don't know much more.
To celebrate its 1 year, Niantic held a big event in Chicago for 20,000 people. They flied out some journalist people, but it was also like a paid event with lots of members of the public coming along in a big park in Chicago, Central Park, if I remember correctly. And yeah, like what happened was you had 20,000 people in the park, and all the mobile networks shat themselves, and nobody could play the game for most of the day, which is more unfortunate because they were hoping to use this as like. Well, they did, but they were using this as the springboard for legendaries, so you can now capture Pokemon like Articuno and Lugia in the game. But yeah, like, it got to the point where someone actually threw a bottle at one of the Niantic presenters, which is like, oof, like, you shouldn't do that, but oof, kind of shows like how sour some people were on the way it went, and how like a company who makes mobile games didn't somehow see this coming. And after after the launch and like the kind of died down, they've done a lot of good work in like making the game more interesting for events. So to have this happen was a kind of a blow. Although it like ended on a more positive note because everyone who was there got refunded, got a load of in-game currency, and then they made like Articuno and Lugia insanely easy to capture for like 2 days. So in all, like it kind of came out okay, but like it didn't look good, especially because I was watching it live through people. Like seeing live reactions from people on Twitter, and it was not the greatest of things. I mean, yeah, it sucks in one half, and I mean, what do you think?
I mean,
save me. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to say.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but I just don't know. These sort of things bring publicity to a game series that you don't care about. Is that not?
Wow.
Oh, sorry, do we care about it?
What, Pokemon?
No, as in Pokemon Go, not the...
There's still millions of people who play it, so yeah.
I know, but I mean, there's
this was
people
like,
that have
if I remember correctly,
it,
this was like a $50, $100 event. So, 20,000 people there, filling out a park. People do care about this.
I mean, yeah, I guess. But do they care about the event because they're curious because it's like the event and they're going to get back into playing, or do they...
Maybe.
Do you see what I mean? Like, you say there's millions still playing. I don't disagree with that because, you know, I know people that play it, which is a thing. But millions of people have also stopped playing it.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? You see everyone talking about this event, they do an event, you go in and you're like, oh, that's a thing again. And you're like, oh, I'll play it again. Is that not... Is that not how you judge a successful event?
How many people it gets back into it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess talented. Like, I have seen more people talking about it as of late, mainly because of I think legendary Pokemon being back in it has kind of attracted some people back, because it's like, heck yeah, I'll get a Lugia, why not? But yeah, it's, as events go, probably not the greatest. I just wanted to bring it up because, yeah, that was not Niantic's finest hour, and it's had a lot of coverage. So, yes.
I mean,
go on.
I am intrigued to see if it has a direct effect on numbers, though. That would be my thing.
How it affects actual player base, yeah.
Yeah, if it goes on and it gets... If its numbers are like a little increased, then sure, that's, it's alright, but it's a big event, so I would expect a very notable announcement that numbers have gone up, etc.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I hope that they Niantic can pull it together again, and who knows if there'll be a Pokemon Go Fest too. But like, I feel they've learnt a lot from this, and hopefully the game should just get better and better. That'd be cool. And then maybe one day I'll get a phone that can actually play it. So yeah.
Progress.
There you go. That's the note we end it on. Stays as a shit phone. But let's move on. Let's move away from the news. Let's move into releases, of which there is one this week, and I owe it to thank Laura for this, because I had no clue this game was coming out. I had literally nothing written for this section. I was just going to talk about Pyre for 2 minutes, but no, we actually have a release, and it's Tacoma. I'm going to read the description for this. It's basically from the people who made Gone Home, but Tacoma is a sci-fi narrative adventure set aboard a high-tech space station of the year 2088. Explore every detail of how the station's crew lived and worked, finding the clues that add up to a gripping story of trust, fear, and resolve in the face of disaster.
That sounds inspirational, if anything. All I got from that is that I should be inspired, and I'm like, yeah, I'm pumped.
I mean, it is, to quote Laura, Gone Space. It's...
Gone Space! I love Gone Space. It's such a good name for a game, and they haven't gone with it, and it really annoys me.
I mean, so I went, because I'm pretty sure this was at E3, and they showed like the 30-second trailer, and I went, cool, what's your game about? What's the game? Where's the game? I mean, like, this is, like, I'm not going to get into the whole, like, is Gone Home a game debate, but, yeah, it's not one for me. Like, I need more investment in a game that this kind of genre doesn't really offer me, but hey, if you enjoy Gone Home, now you can get their newest game, which is Gone Home again, but in space. Would you? I mean, you're the expert. Like, this is on Xbox One and PC, coming out August 2nd.
I love how I'm the expert on this. Just
you're the Xbox One player, and you know what Gone Home is, so.
Yeah, it's kind of atmospheric. Atmospheric is basically the nice buzz term for when I can't really describe the gameplay.
The question is, like, would you play, like, another game from that team?
Yeah, I'd say so. I still wouldn't know what was going on, but I'd play another one.
Okay. So there you go. And that's it. That's it for releases. I mean, give it a few weeks. Like, September's just around the horizon, and I mean, Mario X Rabbids is out in a few weeks, and that's a good game. Probably. But, yeah. So, let's move on into the penultimate section, the plugs. Laura...
Yes!
Oh, aggressive from Laura, so I'm assuming
Let's plug this!
What do you have to plug, Laura?
I have nothing to plug, but plug itself. I've been waiting to make that joke all week. I actually want... There is something I want to plug. I'm going to be serious for a moment, Slazo. You know what I want to plug?
I don't know what you want to plug, Laura.
How good your episode of Saturday Morning Switch was this week.
Was it?
You're going to plug next week's.
Okay.
But I want to plug how I found it very informative on Splatoon 2.
Really? What happened in it?
Well, you played Splatoon 2. I'm not going to lie to you.
I did.
I don't know what else you want from me from that. You played Splatoon.
Cool.
You weren't that good.
Thanks.
But it was very informative.
No views.
No, I viewed it. I viewed it through Twitter.
Okay. Oh, Oh yeah, that would make sense. Right, okay.
Yeah, are you trying to? I wouldn't lie to you when I don't watch a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched all of them. I'm sorry. Some of us have Saturday morning business and can't be watching Nintendo Switch videos, and also it makes them bitter that they don't have Nintendo Switch. So I have to watch them spaced out because I'm like, oh, I wish I had one. I want one.
Good, buy one.
What am I going to pay? I can't pay with... They won't accept blood anymore. I said anymore. Hang on, they won't accept blood. Full stop.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, I really enjoyed... If you haven't watched it, you should go watch Splatoon 2 single player. It's just you going through it. It looks kind of cool. It made me think of The Blob, which I know is a game we share in common.
Yes.
I know. Every time I see Splatoon, I just think of The Blob, which is awful, but the single player mode really definitely...
I enjoyed the single player.
Was more... Too. It's very...
I didn't play Blob
based on what I watched you play, it's very... I don't know, it doesn't push no boundaries. I wouldn't expect it to, don't get me wrong. But it's very, like...
I mean, it's fun enough, and I've been told it's very reminiscent of Splatoon 1 single player, but it was alright. It didn't help, but it was very, like, I really enjoyed the hub worlds, and then you go into the actual levels, and it's like, this is less fun. But,
yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't... did you actually gain any affection for any of the characters through it? Because I saw, like, you had people popping up. Well, you had Marie and that popping up saying when you did well and that.
Marie's cool, don't get me wrong, but she was cool before. This is just...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cool. When I was watching you playing it, I wasn't really getting much, like, I don't know what that character is, you know what I mean? But I kept seeing them pop up and talk to you.
Yeah. No,
obviously.
Like, Marie is essentially your advisor, and, like, she does a good job in that role.
Okay. I mean, I found it very informative, and I'm like, if I ever get Splatoon 2, I would totally play the first player. So... Cool.
Well, there you go. But, yeah, that was before. The most recent... I'm trying to figure out whereabouts in Saturday Morning Switch this would be now. Right, yes, the Saturday Morning Switch episode has just gone live. We'll be talking all about the games that came out in July. Wait, hang on, no, this goes live on Wednesday. Ignore that. That's next week's episode. This week's episode was single player. Whoops. Next week's episode is the games that come out in... It's because we're recording this on a Sunday, and usually we record it on a Friday before the episode's gone live, so... My brain's gone.
Yeah, that's why I was able to plug the backlog.
Yeah, it's why that's why you've actually talked about the most recent episode. Yeah, so yeah, the most recent episode is the single player Splatoon 2. Next week will be the July lineup for the Switch. Week after that will probably be a bit more Splatoon 2, like maybe a Salmon video. And by then, optimistically, we should be approaching Mario X Rabbids, so I can move focus onto that. So stay tuned. And that moves us on to the topic of the week. So, seeing as we were talking about Pokemon Go Fest earlier, I thought, this is something we've never really talked about, like gaming events in real life that we've both been to, or would like to go to. So,
I mean, I can start with that I would like, because we mentioned it earlier.
Go for it.
I would like to go to EVO. I'm sorry, it looked fun. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really into fighting games, and like, this is the biggest esport fighting tournament, arguably, or whatever, but I just find it, because I'm not good at them, and I don't get them, it's insane to see how good some people are at them, and I just find it insane to watch them, and maybe I'd like, be intrigued to see how it works live, because obviously you watch it on a screen at home, so I can see the screen they're fighting on, as well as them, but it looks to be a cool atmosphere, so generally just intrigued to see what it's like live.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's fair. It does always... I think it's a bit too serious for me. Like, I've never been one for, like, ultra-serious gameplay. But, yeah, EVO does always seem to have, like... Especially in the last few years, to have really developed this personality now through streaming.
Well, I mean, I can't even remember his name, because I'm really bad at names. Not because I'm... but the one who rips his top off. They rips his top off when they make him angry, or he goes to live. No, it's not because he's like got a thing. It's just hilarious how into it everyone is, and everyone goes nuts. Like, you've done it now. Or the ones that. What else? The other ones is the ones that are so cocky and they start trash talking, and then you watch the other player kick their ass. Also amuses me. Yeah.
I mean, I think the most amusing thing I saw from Evo this year was the guy who had, like, the general fight stick, and then, like, after a round he opens it up, and there's just a sandwich in there. You see sandwich, his phone just turns to look at him and just laughs, because it's like...
What you doing, mate? Having a sandwich.
It's more just like you won't, like, fight sticks are usually, like, full of gubbins and everything, but no, he's just turned it into a lunchbox. So it's like, fair play, man, that's really cool. But, yeah, Evo probably not for me. I think if I was to go to any kind of actual competitive thing, I'd like to go to the Pokemon World Championships. But that's because...
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah, I know, it's almost like...
Pokemon, Slazo, attending? No.
No, never. Would never. Could never. I've never been remotely good enough at like actual serious Pokemon battling to qualify for those kind of things. But I wouldn't mind going, because like it's always interesting to see like the weird and wonderful strategies people come up with and creative uses of like abilities and Pokemon moves. And especially now that we're in a new generation, Gen 7, like each new gen kind of changes it up a bit, because usually there's like a year or two where it's the same and then changes up as the new games come out. So yeah, I'd love to go to one of those and kind of... And it's not just that as well, so like I think they do trading card stuff as well at the same time, and obviously it's just a chance to talk Pokemon with Pokemon people, which is always amazing, as I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, I feel though like I'd also like to go to I can't remember if they've changed their name or not, but GDC.
Oh, the Games Developer Conference.
Game Developers Conference, yeah. As someone who like aspired at various points in his life and still kind of does as a hobby make games, I'd love to be able to like go and listen to people talk about making games. It's why I used to go to Animex, and I'd love to go to something like GDC or other like developing conferences and just listen to cool people go like, here's how I made a game, here's what I think cool and matters. Because there's always like interesting insights and stories about like developers. Like I've written about Animex for the website in the past, but it's always fascinating to hear people. Like here's a lady from Rare talking about the various crazy things they do to pass the time and how they kind of prototype ideas. Here's Life is Strange people talking about story. It's really nice always to just like see more behind the scenes and see how games came to be and the personalities that helped make them. Like I've listened to a lot of Mike Biffle's podcasts and stuff where he talks about how he made Thomas Was Alone, how he made Volume. And yeah, I would love to go to more developing things. I feel the one we should address of would I ever like to go to it, would you ever want to go to E3?
The big daddy of them all. I mean, it's so many queues and stuff. I like the idea of being in on the conferences and being there and clapping, and when they give away free stuff.
Under your seat, it's an Xbox One.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of cool with that. I'm not going to say no. It's just, I like the idea of getting hands-on with the games you've just seen, early and all that stuff, but then it's kind of like, it's just so many queues, it's so serious, and I don't know if I would actually like it. Like, I feel like I'd like the idea of it, but to actually go there, I probably think I'd be like, oh my god, there's so many queues, so many people. I just want to, like, I'm getting a better view at home and getting better explanations, seeing video. You know what I mean?
I'm actually with you there. So, like 5 years ago, I would probably have said, hell yeah, it's the most gaming event of the year. Why wouldn't I want to be there? Because I'm Slazo and I'm young and silly. But
and you were a southern Mickey Mouse back in the day.
Oh
bit
boy.
Weird.
But
oh boy, I do declare that's literally what you sound like. I'm swear to God. Anyway, continue.
But yeah, nowadays, like when you kind of see it more like mechanically, and like now you've got Twitter, and so you can just see journalists talking more about the time, and you realise, there are hours of queues for essentially 5 to 10 minutes of a bit where you'll play a bit of a game and then be shoved off because got to keep those people moving. And like, especially then when you have people talking about how like then a week or two later they get to play the same demos in like nice relaxed environments for half an hour or more. Yeah, I feel like E3, like, it's a cool event and I would love to go to it in regards of just the visual appeal of like being able to walk around and see like this insane glorious neon tribute to gaming and what's coming out over the next year or 2 or 3. And I'd love to go see the conferences in person because those are the main bit of E3 that I'm invested in. I know some people watch Treehouse and all that. I tend to just watch the conferences and then be like, yep, done, walk away. But yeah, I'd love to go, but I can get all of that in photos, is the point. So yeah, I feel I would, if I went there, I would never get anything accomplished because I'd play like 5 games and that'd be it. That's E3 over. Time to go home, kids. And I'd feel like I'd wasted a lot of my time. So yeah, I'm probably with you in that. I don't think E3's the event for me. But why don't we talk about
Gamescom looks fun. I like the idea of going to Germany. Gamescom looks fun.
Oh, Leipzig. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that one because like it seems to vary in relevance. So like it's another one where you get a lot of developers and stuff hanging out and having a more casual time. But on the other hand, Nothing really, like, they pride it like Europe's biggest. Nothing.
They call it Europe's biggest.
But nothing ever seems to get announced there these days. Like, it seems like even Tokyo Game Show is another one which it's Japan's biggest, but you don't see a huge amount of news coming out of it compared to what you used to. Like, it feels nowadays we're in an era where companies will just more naturally announce things via, like, oh, here's a stream, here's a Twitter, here's a tweet, here's a message on social media. Like, that seems to be more the prevalence these days rather than holding up for conferences. Like, I think it was 2016, Microsoft were like, yeah, we're going to have loads of things at Gamescom, and then didn't have, like, jack.
That's true. I guess that's... But, I guess that's true. But, I don't know, it still looks like... It just looks like a less busy E3 to me, half the time.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, yeah, that's actually fair. Like, a lot of those demos are the E3 demos, so yeah, you could play E3 games without worrying about massive queue times or anything like that. So yeah, I guess, from that perspective, yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, and also, closer.
Also closer. True.
I just pointed like up
True.
to like Germany.
True, but you'd also have to like speak to German people. Could you manage that, Laura?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna demonstrate it now for you, but I could learn German.
Okay.
I'm smart. I have a degree.
So do I.
I have a
degree.
German degree.
Oh, okay. Sure. But yeah, let's move on from bullshit to events we've actually. So gaming events we've actually been to. So unsurprisingly, like from considering I was talking about Pokemon earlier, I've been to a lot of the Pokemon and Nintendo roadshows over the years. Back before we had Wi-Fi and mystery gifts, and you actually had to go in person to get your rare and legendary Pokemon. Oh boy, I've been to the Deoxys event. I went to the 10th anniversary event in Bristol, which was hilarious because it took me half an hour to actually find it, and then it was just a bunch of people sat around a table, and I was like, cool, and they let me get all the Pokemon twice, so I was like, sure, thank you, representative of Pokemon and Nintendo. The one I'll never forget though is the Mew event, which wasn't even meant to be that big an event. I think it was get Mew on Pokemon Emerald, I think it was. And like, it sticks in my mind because there was a 2-hour queue. And even the people running the event were like, what the fuck? This hasn't happened like for the rest of the week we've been running this. Why are there so many fans in, I think it was Bristol. Why are there so many fans here? And I assume it was just because this was like the main one for Wales, like the Welsh area. But yeah, that was an interesting one, like making friends in the queue, because like unlike previous events, this was 2 hours of waiting for people to take your cartridge and put a Mew on it. And yeah, that was a fun experience. Like I actually did make some friends on there that I don't talk to nowadays, but talk to.
Such long-lasting friendship.
This event, can I get this right, was in like 04, 05. Like Jesus Christ.
No, it's just I made some friends. Don't talk to any of them now. Good friends.
But like at the time, like it was, like I don't get like here we go looking to Slazo's past. I was never Captain Social, especially when it came to games, because like I didn't have a lot of friends IRL who actually played them. But especially as this was also in the era where Pokemon, like I was in the point where Pokemon was no longer the cool thing.
I was so scared about that sentence. I was like, when I preferred Pokemon to people was where I thought that was going, and I was just
Jesus
like,
Christ. I mean, it's true, but yeah,
so scared.
Like it was like the third generation of Pokemon where it ended its popularity, and it was before we all went to college and went, wait, everyone fucking loves Pokemon. Who are we kidding? But
I hated that. That is a weird thing that people do. Like everyone's like, oh, no one likes it in like a secondary school and that. And obviously this is when it was actually popular.
Yeah.
For me anyway. And then when you go to like, I wouldn't say college. I went to 6 months. I'll say more uni. Everyone's like, oh, I loved that as a kid. Like seriously, like why is it acceptable now to be like, yeah, I loved it as a kid? Like
I feel like once you've gotten past the I'm cool. I play Halo and GTA. Yeah. Look at me. Emo songs, woo. I feel like once you get past that phase of your life and you get to college, you're at the point, especially for me who did like a games programming degree, like you just get to the point where everyone's like, yeah, I like this, fuck it, why not? Who cares anymore? Oh no, I liked a video game that was really popular. It's right below me. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun with that. I also went to a couple of like Nintendo roadshows, like a Donkey Konga roadshow, which was just weird because they had giant inflatable Donkey Kongs.
What?
Yeah, they had this was to promote Donkey Konga.
Did they play the DK rap as well? Oh my god.
I can't remember if they played the DK rap.
Oh my god,
or not.
in my head they are.
It was just like this giant, like, I don't know what the correct name for it is, but you know what I mean, like Caribbean wooden hut stand thing with like loads of copies of Donkey Konga on it you could play. There's an actual name for it, like the drink stand you see, like in stereotypical here's an Hawaiian drink stand, but stuff like that where you could get a drink and like play Donkey Konga, and it was great. And they also then had like a truck full of other Nintendo games, like, oh boy, where in the GameCube lifespan were we here? Probably stuff like Pikmin and stuff like that you could play. And yeah, no, I always really enjoy those kind of things. Like it annoyed my mother to drag them because she had to take me out to them, and like she didn't see the appeal of.
How did she not? I'm gonna be honest. You should sing the DK rapper, and she'd be so convinced.
I think she there were Pokemon, like giant Pokemon inflatables, and she was more won over by those. Like she was staring like a giant Venusaur.
Oh my god, there's a giant inflatable Pokemon. I wish I could live here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, sure, but like those are like mostly like I've been to other things. Like I've been to a couple of Animexes over the years, which is like a games conference kind of thing. But in terms of like actual big gaming events, the Pokemon Nintendo ones were like another part of the defining gaming childhood life that I had. How about you, Laura? Like, enough of me talking about Pokemon. How about you?
I can't compete with this. You've gone somewhere where there's inflatable Pokemon and potentially DK raps being played.
Right.
I mean, my game's one of the games that has to be on gaming setup, so there's always events there.
Okay.
But I generally don't go to them because I'm not really into play. I'm not like I said, I'd watch someone play, but it's not big enough that I go.
So what?
Not,
so we may as well just talk about this then.
I've been to Collectomania, and they had there was some video games set up I think one year, but most of the time it's their gaming bits are like finding collectible games, which I also find really cool. You know, like a sealed copy of a Nintendo 64 game.
Yes.
Or I would say that's probably as gamey events as I go because I think that's so cool. Granted, I would never buy and then pay out money on them, but I always find it cool, like, seeing them and being like, oh my god, I had that.
Laura's answer to this question is I've been to a glorified car boot.
Yeah, pretty much. There were celebrities there.
Have you not been to, like, say, MCM? Because there's games at MCM.
Well, Collectomania is basically MCM on a small scale.
No, it's not.
On a small scale!
on a, like, scrub scale. I remember playing bloody DDR at MCM and discovering on that day, I am shite at DDR. I was like, I walk a lot, I have good fitness, I can do this. Turns out I didn't have the greatest leg speed coordination, so boy I sucked. But yeah, and there's been games at MCM like Rising Star were there a lot, so I used to play like Remastered and a bunch of shmups, which was always kind of cool fun. But have you really got nothing outside of Collectomania?
I wanted to go to the one in Birmingham that time, but I didn't go because I didn't have any money. So.
Thanks. So I mean, then like segue then. So you talked about Beyond Gaming. Like I actually don't like because there's not a Beyond. Well, there's a Beyond Gaming nearish me, but it's out of town, so I would never go to it. So
it looks really cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just because they have a game that I'm into. Beyond Gaming's there, like it's like a part of the shop that's half the shop is set up to be geared towards it.
Right.
I'm just trying to find a better description. And they have all screens and custom. I mean, they were setting it up and they were playing FIFA the one time I did go in there when there was something going on, and I was like, "Ooh, FIFA!" You know me. Ooh, FIFA.
Oof, man, like no, I'm like you into football? Never.
I mean, I wouldn't even say. I mean, I'm just specifically aiming it at.
I mean, you can watch Laura and Squiggy playing football right now on our YouTube channel.
You can, and it's really fixed because I'm a good player, and he made it look like I wasn't. Anyway, basically, Beyond, Belong, not Beyond. I keep saying Beyond, and it's Belong. Belong is a place where you belong. It's a gaming tournaments and parties. So they basically have loads of screens, and you can have like a birthday party there where you'll play the same game, like on like.
Wow,
I mean, I assume so. This says parties, so I assume a birthday party. But you have loads of PCs set up, and they're like obviously decent PCs. You know, PCs I can't afford, and not obviously comfortable gaming chairs, and you can play thing, and they do big multiplayer games. I think when they had an event once, it was for Overwatch.
Okay.
And a lot of people were playing Overwatch against... It's basically like a state-of-the-art gaming centre that they've created in a game shop, which obviously you work as a group and you play with other people and book it in and have pie, and it's really cool. And then obviously they can tell you about products they sell at the same time. I want to say they even did a World of Warcraft night once.
Maybe for like when one of the expansions came out, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's basically where you go to party in game.
Okay.
Party and game in game.
Well done. So,
yeah. I'm working for their commercial team, clearly.
Totally. And on that shill of go to game, then I believe we are pretty much done for the week. Unless there's anything else you want to say on that topic.
No, I don't, because I'm so.
I like
so
the idea you were like googling it, going, "Is there? Is there? No."
No. Is there more? Did I go to something? No.
I want it known for the record. Like when we were planning this topic of the week, I was like, "Have you got something to say for this?" And she's like, "Yeah, I can talk about where I'd like to go." And like, great.
Yeah.
Didn't realise she had nowhere she'd actually been to ever at any point.
I didn't want to really hurt your feelings when you were like really excited. I was like, oh, I don't want to. I was like, oh, but I'm sorry. I'll start attending stuff.
Please do. So,
coming soon. Basically, Laura's coming soon to a gaming event near you. Wink.
Nice. And on that positive news, I believe it is time to end. Don't forget to give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. Leave a comment maybe talking about gaming events you've been to, or like some of the news we've talked about, like esports and gaming on television. Would you like to see that? And yeah, subscribe. That's the other one.
And Squiggy will be back. Might high five him and not be here next week, because that's what I do.
I was getting to that forgetful guy. But yeah, subscribe to the channel so you know when the new episodes of Pie Chat Podcast, Saturday Morning Switch, and anything else we do go live. You can follow us on the social medias. We are on Twitter at Retro Remastered, or individually, I am at Slazo King, Laura is at Law. We're on Tumblr at The Retro Remastered, although I have no idea what the Tumblr does because I don't have a Tumblr account.
Yeah, I don't actually know what it does anymore. I used to post articles.
Good.
Right now, it probably just every so often move blogs and Mario GIF.
Well, there you go. That's if you want a Mario GIF a month, follow at The Retro Remastered on Tumblr.
Who
and
doesn't
of course,
want a Mario gift a month?
If you want to follow the other guy who maybe sometimes is here and makes the tea, I don't know, at Geordie Squires, will he be back for episode 96? Will he be back before episode 100? That's what I want to know. Hopefully, because who even knows what we've got planned for that one? Big things, probably. But until next week, I have been Slazo, she has been Laura, and we will see you around. Take care, everybody.